Good afternoon, Gary. Gary from Never Tap Out. Welcome. And thank you for agreeing to chat with me today. And yeah, it's amazing to have you in the second issue of the deVonk e-magazine. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on the show.
It's a big pleasure.
Privilege.
Awesome. Gary, I think for the people that don't know you, tell us a little bit about you. Who is Gary and how did you get into this industry?
Okay, the industry, the organization is Never Tap Out. And if you look at the name, Tap Out, it's directly implies to the fighting industry. And how it started, I was directly involved with the American brand, the Tap Out brand, back in the day. And we were involved in the marketing of the Tap Out nutritional products and the Tap Out accessories, and that's the gum guards, the gloves, you know, all the accessories that went along with it. And we did distribution and marketing of the brand. The Tap Out brand overseas originated with MMA, which is mixed martial arts. And they were pretty much the pioneers, known as the pioneers in MMA. They are on the Hall of Fame, the UFC Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And they went travel around America developing mixed martial arts and developing the sport in the States. We got involved in the brand back in the day, and the brand pretty much it changed. The people sold the brand. There was 3 owners of the brand, Tap Out brand. The brand was sold in America, and the brand was split. Authentic Brands owned the clothing, and there were other companies that owned the nutrition, and the brand pretty much split up. The nutritional side of the brand pretty much changed. They stopped manufacturing the supplements, which we back then we had partnered in on. We had sub-Sahara rights for the distribution of the supplements. And it was myself, it was James Dalton, the rugby player back in the day, and it was a guy called Dave who was on the investment side of it. But the whole thing fell flat, and I was quite disappointed because the brand had changed. The license from Champion Nutrition that manufactured for Tap Out, it's fallen away. So we lost the whole deal. Disappointed, but I just carried on, and I was pretty much known then for with the Tap Out brand, the association with the brand. I had a Tap Out vehicle, and I had all the kits and the clothing, and I'd done all the marketing, so I was known to be associated with the brand on the business side only. And then I just carried on. And I have a strong sporting background. I had my own dojo in my early 20s. I'm a sensei in Shikokai, which is traditional karate, and that was 20 odd years ago. I had run a dojo. I have a strong karate background, and I got involved in mixed martial arts training at different clubs. I started up with CIT in Pretoria. That was back in the day, and Leon Maynard was my first coach. I remember before he even turned pro, he was my coach. And I'd been at clubs pretty much all over Pretoria. I just enjoyed the sport pretty much. I wasn't competing, I was just enjoying the sport, but I was very interested in getting involved with the Tap Out brand, and it wasn't available anymore. So through my journeys, my sporting journeys, I pretty much I became very spiritual. My journey, I sort of shifted and became very spiritual. And I'd already then started working in rehabs, safe houses. I was working on the streets doing ministry work.
Yes.
And the Never Tap Out saying became quite popular in the rehabs and that kind of stuff. That I never tap, never give up, and it just grew and grew. And eventually, before I knew it, I had my own Never Tap Out brand and a logo, and it just grew and grew. And I developed into so much ministry work. I was doing a lot of work on the streets teaching self-defense. We do a sports development side. So I've taken, for example, a heroin addict, and we put him into Fight Stars, which is an affiliated MMA association. We took a car guard, took him off the streets, put him into fighting. I was just looking at helping people from a place of difficulty into getting them into the sport. We were in the development side of the sport, and and it grew into I was training guys in basements. It was crazy stuff. I had pastors coming to see what I'm doing. They liked what I was doing. And then the next thing I was doing work for the churches, and I was helping all the ladies in the streets. And then it grew from helping guys in the sport. It went over to helping all the ladies that were being human trafficked and that were being working in the streets. I got involved in the security side of that. And I ended up in a safe house. It really grew from sport into helping people. So the sporting background, which came out of traditional karate, I used to fight tournaments in traditional karate. And then I only got involved in mixed martial arts at an older age. But we've taken the Never Tap Out organization, and we do feeding programs. We're teaching thousands of women self-defense. We still have a sports development program. We now do charity. We're hosting charity tournaments this year through boxing, mixed martial arts. We're involved in kickboxing. So we have grown. We really have grown into a ministry. And I think it just became a strong spiritual journey. The sporting side of it is still there. So the upliftment, social upliftment through using sport. We take boxing into the communities, helping the boys with boxing, but and we're doing while we're there, we're teaching the ladies, the young ladies, the anti-trafficking. We're teaching the women self-defense to gender-based violence projects. I'm associated. I've just joined hands with so many good people. SSCN, they're the Sports and Social Change Network. They're involved with, it's a government organization. They're taking me up into Africa this year to do GBV projects. They've had me in the Cape, doing GBV projects in the Eastern Cape. The Fish Foundation, which is Mock Fish, they do all the soccer development. They've dragged me along to do the self-defense and all the kids in the squatter camps. It hasn't stopped. We've just joined hands with so many organizations. And we've got into a lot of corporate work, the likes of Momentum, the likes of Hollard, the big insurance companies, Pick and Pay. We do on the self-defense side, we do a lot of hand-to-hand combat training. So we do training on security as well. I've worked with security companies. It hasn't stopped. It's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're sitting with a big organization now. We've joined hands with so many organizations. Yellow for Survivors, Laloni Kita, which does all the support for rape victims. I've done a lot of work with her. So and we're in the schools now, doing all the self-defense in the schools, which I'm very excited about. I was in Esteris this week, training all the classes, training them basic self-defense for the young kids, the boys and the girls. There's a lot of work to do. And we're hungry to do the work. And we have the manpower. We have a lot of trainers, coaches. We have food to give. We want to feed people. We want to train people, and then we pray for people too, which is pretty cool.
I was quite curious on how you bring the fighting world and your whole spirituality into it. And you've answered my question. I haven't even asked it yet. And I've just always been intrigued by that. And it's amazing. And I think you started off, when you started off the discussion, you mentioned the disappointment of a business that failed. And, you kind of carried on with something you were so passionate about. And that grew into something a million times better. You're reaching so many people, touching so many people's lives. And I just think it's absolutely amazing, Gary. And I would definitely like people to get involved with you as well, and with Never Tap Out. And I believe that you have quite an exciting event coming up that's actually going to be a boxing a boxing match with a couple of celebs and stuff. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It's quite popular now to do celebrity exhibition fights with boxing. It's big in the States. It's happening in SA as well. We're doing our own little private Never Tap Outs charity tournament. It's charity only. So it's free to come and watch. And we are going to raise through sponsorships money for anti-trafficking projects and for gender-based violence projects. And yeah, we are associated. I've been quite fortunate to be associated with a lot of professional fighters as well. Yeah. I'm not a professional fighter, but fighting is a way of life for me. So martial arts is a way of life for me. And I've had the privilege to train with a lot of good fighters. I've trained with Brothers in Arms, which is an EFC group. They've been very good to me. I've trained with top instructors out of Fitbits, which is here in Pretoria as well. And on the boxing side, the Sebastian Rothman, it's also got involved to help me as well. So I just take, it's biblical. You take your whatever talents, whatever gifts you have, how can you take that to help people? That's where we are. So the tournament we are taking, there'll be 3 teams. We have the Pretoria East team. We have a Sunnyside team, which is a team out of the city. And we have another team coming out of the city, and we're going to box, and we're going to invite some celebs. Mark Fish is on the list because I've joined hands with him. I do work with him, and he's always keen to get in the ring and fight with somebody. And we are going to invite someone to fight with him. We're not sure who it is yet, but that will be watch the space, and then just have fun. We're going to have a bride, feed everybody, and then just do a charity fundraiser. And whoever wants to get involved, whoever wants to help people, please come and ask us how can we assist you? How can you help us? And let's join hands and let's get out there and add value. I think that's amazing. What it comes down to.
Yes, Gary, it is. Yeah. Hey, well, I could listen to you for hours, and I want you to please keep us in the loop with that specific event, because we'd also like to just share it with all our viewers and our featured artists, entrepreneurs, businesses, all the companies that advertise with us. I think, it's such a great initiative, and you're just helping so many people, and it's really, really amazing. Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. How do we add value?
Yes,
that's what it is. Yeah, and that's Gary, where we are as an organization.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we're definitely going to be staying in touch. And I know that there's a lot more to come from Never Tap Out. And it's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Cool. Okay. Bye, Gary.